All right, so looking at compound inequalities, we're looking at ORs. So on an OR problem, they're nice and simple. You're just taking two separate inequalities, putting them together on the same number line. Next lesson, we'll look at ANDs, but for now, we're just sticking with OR. So let's look at number one. So one important thing about OR problems is you got to get the numbers on the number line in the right order. So -8 is actually smaller than 4, so be careful with that. And then we're just graphing both of them. So we have an open dot at -8 because it's not equal to, and the inequality says x is smaller. So I'm shading smaller than 8. I have a closed dot at 4 because it's equal to, and then it says x is bigger, so I'm shading bigger. That's all it is, okay? So go ahead and try 3 and 4. Pause the video, try those, and then you can play when you're ready. All right, so -2 is smaller than 5. Closed dot at -2, and it says C is smaller. Open dot at 5, and it says C is bigger. 1 is smaller than 6. Open dot at 1, and it says T is smaller, so I shade smaller. Closed dot at 6 because it's equal to, it says T is bigger, so I shade bigger. All right, let's look at solving on the back. All right, so solving here, again, not any harder than just solving two separate inequalities. So it's already broken up by this word OR, okay? So that breaks it kind of into two problems. And then I just solve each one separately. So I would add 5, 3y is smaller than -3, divide by 3, and y is smaller than -1. Keep your OR word in there. So whatever word is in the beginning problem, you got to keep it there. So I add 1, 2y is bigger than 6, divide, and I get y is bigger than 3. So here's my compound inequality, and now I'm ready to graph it. So -1 is smaller than 3. Open dot at -1, and it says y is less, so I shade less. Has an open dot at 3, and it says y is bigger, so I shade bigger. Okay? So just solving the two inequalities separately from one another. Go ahead and pause the video, try number 8, and then play the video when you're ready. All right, so broken up by the word OR, solve the two inequalities separately. So subtract 1, 2p is smaller than -8. Divide by 2, and I end up with p is smaller than -4. Keep my OR word in there. Solve the right inequality. So subtract 3. So I'm -2p is smaller or equal to -4. And this is the rule I hope you remembered. In order to get p by itself, I got to divide by -2. Remember, anytime I divide by a negative, I got to flip my inequality sign. So this is actually going to be p. Flip your inequality sign to greater than or equal to 2. So there's my inequality. Let's graph. So -4 is smaller than 2. I have an open dot at -4, and it says p is less. I have a closed dot at 2 since it's equal, and it says p is greater. Okay, those are your compound OR notes.